So yeah, I do have about 10 minutes I need to run through. So we're going to go ahead and mute you, and then we'll get things rolling.
All right.
I'm so excited to have you. Thank you.
I'm excited to be here.
All right, Doll. You ready to roll? Okay. No, oh, I do that. Okay, I got you. So, as we all know, Steven's on vacation, so I had the remote. That'll be fun. Okay, so let's do this. It's been a few months since I've done a team meeting, I think. So this is interesting. All right, you guys, thank you so much for lunch. Would you like to chat a little bit, or is there anything going on that you want to share with us?
Well, right now we're in a great season. So we're in between. So as soon as summer ends and we start trickling off the air conditioning season, cold time starts reducing, vendors start loosening up, and it's before heating season. So this is a great season for the home warranty companies, the home warranty industry.
Totally, Tara, and I really appreciate you mentioned, the season's changing, because right now is when you should be doing all your filters and changing that all up, huh?
And also calling your clients and reminding them to get a pre-season tune-up for their heater, whether it's through their home warranty, or again, have some vendors in mind, just like you would for air conditioning, because it gives you a contact point for your clients, and they should be doing that, getting their furnaces ready for winter.
I totally agree with that. That's smart. Okay, what is this? The agent's in here. This is probably new to you, and do you know anything about this right here? No. So you need to make sure you clear the numbers out. Make sure that we're really, really compliant when you're making your calls. We all know we need to make our calls. So this is something that we're going to be definitely talking more and more about. You have to make sure before you start texting and calling that they're not on the do not call list. Okay, which we could probably get in more involved in that if you have more questions. Right? Yeah, definitely. Okay, well, tell me something good, right? What's going on in everybody's world, right? We do have an announcement, but we'll get to that. So yes, that is very, very good. But tell me something else. What's going on in your guys' world? Tell me about rates. Tell me about the TC program. Tell me about what your listings. Tell me about what the buyers are saying. Anything? Come on.
Well, the rates are, staying in the 7s.
Right.
And they're talking about the rates dropping in 2024, more or less. We might see a quarter here, a quarter there, but it's still a great time to get a house because rents are going up, so you might as well be paying your own mortgage and someone else's mortgage.
Right?
Yeah,
and get a tax write-off. Right. Yeah. Awesome. All right. So here at Keller Williams, we're God, family, and business. And I want to make sure we're discussing this at every team meeting and everybody knows what we stand for. And so when you look at this, win-win, no deal, this whole list right here, which one of these do you think, okay, that totally resonates with me today? I'm not going to read through them because if I read through them, you're going to hear my voice. Which one resonates with you? Anybody? Teamwork. Tell me about that. Why, Marissa?
Well, because together we achieve more always.
Yes.
And it takes a team to truly be successful.
Awesome. Yes, I love it. I also like success results through people. That one really resonates with me. So anybody else have one that they like?
I like win-win.
Win-win, no deal.
Yeah, I think it should be a win-win for everybody, or I agree, no deal. It's everybody involved's got to get something out of it.
I love that. Thank you so much for chiming in. I appreciate that. Well, we do have a beautiful team we would like to welcome. It's the Aguilar team, and good things are happening. I'm so excited that they're back with KW, and this is their home, and the good things are happening out in that area that we'll be sharing shortly, and probably, I don't know, a week or two, but welcome. So I'm excited. Sherry's not here, but Rachel's here, and she works out of the office as her mother's right arm, right? And she does the TC work for that team. So we're really, really excited about that. Okay, closings for August 10th through August 23rd. We'd like to celebrate Christina, 3 closings in 1 week. 3. Right? Laura Miller, 3. Debbie Ruth, Eric, Jake, Jeremy, Judy, Michael, Nikki, Susan, they all got 1 closing. So that's very, very exciting. So yeah, thank you for the hard work. Does anybody have a new listing they want to chat about before we move forward?
I think this.
Okay, chat about it. Let's
We have a house, South Natomas, fixer. $299
$299.
on West
Fixer.
Pennsylvania now. We get fire fallout, it's there. 299, not fixer, dated, probate, so we can't do any repairs or anything like that, but bring your investors.
Yeah,
Great investors.
$299. My mind's already gone.
$299.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, so Rachel, Adams Lee will be in person next week. And typically she doesn't do things in person, but she's doing that for us. Obviously, there's a little bit of relationship there, but yes. So if you want to learn how to do reels, because if you followed any of the notes that I posted on Instagram or Facebook in our private group, this is where it's at. Social media, these people are killing it right now on social media. There was a young lady who cleared what, and within 90 days, it was like 100,000 GCI,
Well,
right?
actually,
Okay,
at Mega Camp, they brought up, she was probably
mid-20s, yeah.
24, 25 years old, brand new to real estate, just got her license,
Within 90 days though, this all happened.
4 months. And all she did for her outreach was TikTok video.
Yeah,
She
every
would do
single
a
day.
TikTok video every single day, 1 TikTok video. every single day.
Mhm. Yes,
Wow.
that is
TikTok
it.
Video every day.
Social
Obviously
media.
edited
Yeah.
and prepared it all and did a TikTok video. First 4 months, 101 transactions closed.
That's what it's 101.
Yeah.
100.
100.
Come on.
Oh, I mean, yeah, obviously, she could meet with people and you know, and convert things, but
Yeah.
still, I mean,
It's
the
amazing.
amount of response. Obviously, she had to do all the follow-up response conversion.
Yeah.
But the fact that she was able to generate those kind of leads and interest.
Yeah, good for her.
What were the topics?
All kinds, all kinds, yeah.
Talk about like rates, she would talk about, we saw one video where she's talking about different neighborhoods and pricing.
She also
Right.
talked about herself too, and she was pretty authentic and real. It wasn't
Yeah.
always about real estate.
Yeah.
So she went back and forth, right? And that's what you need to do.
Yeah, one of the best videos she was talking about, she was just going to this event. And it was like a cowboy, this is in Texas, so it's cowboy
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everything, and she wore like a pink.
Yeah.
Cowboy outfit, right? And she said, you know, it just got attracted,
Yes.
right? And she got.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
pretty exciting. So if you want my notes on that, email me or text me and I can get them to you if I didn't send them to you already. And I have the 1-pager book too that I can send to you as well. So yeah. All right, first Thursday, everybody should be here. We do first Thursday of the month. We do a little bit of networking, a little bit of wine or whatever you want to drink that night. We do that and a little bit of food too. So come on in and just chat with us 4 to 6 on first Thursday of every month. Just that's a little reminder. And then we're doing our baseball. It's our tailgate night on September 15th. If you haven't got your tickets, there's still time. So make sure you get your tickets, okay? All right, we're gonna run down July awards. We have the top 10 right now. So this is pretty exciting. There's no volume though, but yeah, well, here we go. So Victoria is number 10, and then number 9 is Barbara Zaragoza. That's your PC coach who is in this office, and Josh, he just left. He has kids in school he's got to pick up. And then Aaron, so that's exciting, number 7. And then number 6, Eric. So I'm really excited. Eric just joined us 2 months ago. And yeah, and I believe this one's Pam. Just joined us a month ago. I just want to like just say that. Tamika, she's new, brand spanking new, who joined us probably 60 days ago. And is
Alright, number 4.
killing it. Rated number 4. 3rd transaction already.
Wow.
I'm just saying. John, just saying. Okay, Rohini, some of you guys know Rohini from the Tracy office. She actually moved to Sacramento, let's say February, maybe March. Yeah, so that's exciting. Number 3. So I'm gonna have to call her. I'm excited about that. And then Jade DeRosa. And then, oh, yep, Laura Miller, number 1. Yes, very, very exciting. Laura, you're usually on. I don't know where you're at. I don't know if that's you, iPhone number 2, but congratulations, my friend. Exciting, exciting. All right, now, the $1 Million Club. I already know who it is. Laura Miller. 2 million. That's exciting. Very, very exciting. This girl's on it. She is focused. Yeah. She is solid. Okay, now my buddy. So Mega Camp was last week already, huh? Jeez. Yeah. So I was fortunate enough to get on the airplane, and I actually had first class. They bumped me up for free. And then lo and behold, who I'm sitting next to? My buddy here, right? My buddy. So I actually had 3 hours with this woman, and I didn't want to bother her, so I kept on thinking, does she want to sleep? Does she want to chat? Because I could have just asked her questions for the whole 3 hours, but I allowed her to sleep a little bit. And then on the way back, she actually sent me a picture with another friend of ours with an empty seat, saying that they were missing me. So that was very, very kind of her. But this woman has been everywhere. You went to Europe not too long ago.
I was in KW France. I'm going to Portugal. I'll be going to KW Spain. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And I adore you. I will do anything for you, Michelle. And you're such an incredible leader. And congratulations to all these top performers and everybody who is in it right now. I know it's a challenging market. We're really, really proud of you. Congratulations.
Yay. All right, I'm gonna let you take it away from here, and you have a treat right now, you guys, to have her. Oh yeah, you know how I feel. So yes, so have fun and let's take it away, girl.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so sorry I'm not in there with all of you in person. And I'm sorry, I'm actually in my home right now. We have some technical issues in the office, and you've got my dog right here. He's in my lap, so he won't bark. So say hello. So today I was asked to talk about things I've learned. They gave me basically carte blanche. And I wanted to share with you some of the things that I've learned from Gary Keller directly and with John Maxwell. I've had the pleasure and the honor to spend some time with both of them one-on-one. And especially now in this latter part of the year and going to 2024, would that be okay to share all this with you? What I've learned?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So for those who don't know me, my name is Caroline Huo, and I lead a team here in the San Francisco Bay Area on the peninsula. And I also have the honor to serve as a Director of Professional Development for Keller Williams Luxury. So Brady Sandel and I lead the Keller Williams Luxury community together. And so through my year and a half serving in this role, I've been able to speak with a lot of people, not just within our own country, also internationally. And what I wanted to do was really take nuggets away from really impressive people and really see how they have succeeded through really challenging times. And I thought I'd just share that with you. So a few things that they have in common is just their attitude, but I wanted to share with you. Some people looked at me and said, well, you have it so easy. Don't ever say that to me because I've been through some really challenging times myself, and I'm going to be completely vulnerable and share them with you. I'm grateful for everything that I faced because I realized that when I ran away from things I didn't want to face, they kept chasing me and got bigger and bigger. So that was my first lesson. The things I looked straight in the eye and tackled were the greatest learnings I've ever had. When I tackled my greatest fear, I've been able to overcome. So for example, I stuttered as a child badly, and I didn't speak for 3 months. And so here I am speaking with you and on stage. So as far as my career and my life, my mom has had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, cancer twice. We survived the 2008 market. I had a stalker. I had a heart attack in my early 40s. I'm very blessed to be here. I have a child. She's much better now. She's great. Actually, she's thriving. She battled depression and actually wanted to leave this earth. Business-wise, I had a director of operations who embezzled from me and gave herself a $50,000 raise without me knowing. I've hired the wrong people, made a lot of mistakes. I've expanded a team. I've contracted a team. Anything you can name that could have gone wrong in my business has gone wrong. And I'm still here today. And I'll share with you from the top performers and the leaders in the business and learning from Gary and John, there are 5 things I find in common what these people have, who not only build fantastic businesses, they also thrive in challenging times. And this is what I've applied to our business and hope you can too. Number 1, they have extreme clarity in their why. If you ask them, why are you doing this? They know exactly why. They have extreme clarity in their values, their MVVBP, your mission, vision, values, beliefs, and perspectives. And those, I had the pleasure to be coached on my MVVBP by Mo Anderson herself. And she told me this. She said, Caroline, these are the rules you will live by. When you have a very clear mission, vision, beliefs, values, and perspectives, this is a covenant. It's a living covenant of how people are going to be expected to be treated from you, by you, how you expect to be treated from your team members and your clients, and how you will be perceived to the world. The MVVBP on our team is so clear that we once walked away and I actually fired a $20 million client. I was willing to walk away from a $20 million client, very high profile, because his values didn't match ours. He treated our team poorly, talked down to us. It just wasn't worth it. It wasn't a match. Ultimately, they asked us back and he was great. He behaved well. But when you set down the rules of how you are willing to be treated and then show others how you will be treating them, then it makes everything easier. So we make all of our decisions, our big decisions, based on our MVVBP. We measure against it. Another thing I notice is that they have extreme clarity in their plan and their goal, not just their why. They have their goal and they have a plan to get there. Very, very clear. They have extreme focus on their execution with their persistence and resilience. They execute, they hold themselves accountable, they hold their teams accountable, they're persistent, and they're extremely resilient. And number 5, they have extreme focus on protecting their mindset. When you're clear in where you're going and why you're going there, and so disciplined in your execution and your focus on the activities, then it's easier not to pay attention to the distractions that may not serve you. All right, we get bombarded with a lot of noise, or who gets bombarded with noise, right? We all do. So how do you get clarity in your why? So we've been taught to think about your why, and many of us think that, the why is actually an accomplishment. The why should be an accomplishment. I thought I had clear why until I did a 10-year letter exercise and realized that the why is what achieving those goals can do for you. So it's not achieving the goals, but what those goals after achieving them could do for you, your family members, your loved ones, your team members, the people around you. So who has heard of the 10-year letter? Okay, those who haven't, I'm happy to send it to you, Michelle, and so you can pass it along. Is that all right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So some of the questions, there was a small group of us invited to Austin. There were 20 of us. And the homework was to write a letter as if 10 years has already passed. And you're writing what has happened. Okay. And they gave us some questions that were prompts. And I waited till last minute. I was on plane writing this on a red eye to Austin, and I am just crying. Like I'm losing it. And the woman next to me basically put her arm around me and thought somebody had passed away. Some of the questions were, what are you doing now? How old are you? How old is your partner if you have one? How old are your children if you have them? How old are your parents? That one got me. What are you doing now that's bringing you joy? What are you learning? What are you teaching? What are you giving? Who have you forgiven? Who have you asked forgiveness from? What is one thing that you conquered that you thought was a challenge, but you conquered it anyway? Boy, when I realized that the age questions really got me, I realized that there's not enough time. No, it's not a lot of time with my parents anymore, right? Not a lot of time with the children anymore. So I'll send that copy of that question. So when I answered those questions and I wrote a 10-year letter, that was my roadmap. That was my why. And I will do anything to get there. For values, how do you determine your values? When you're clear with your why, then you get very clear on your values with your MVVBP, then you can match it. And that's your entire plan. And if you have a team, so I wrote my MVVBP in 2015, and I wrote it by myself. So now that we have a team, I asked the team last few months ago to write it together, because Gary teaches us authorship is ownership. So you could be the leader and you can say, this is our MVPP, this is what we believe in. Does your team believe in it as well? So if you have an MVPP that you've written by yourself and now you have a team or a larger team, I highly encourage you to spend some time and revisit it together and create one together. So it's your teams. Now for your goals and plans, we have our GPS, we have our 411s, we have our 12-week years. What we do when we start the year, we're planned for the next year. We're about to go into business planning for 2024 in the next 2 weeks. We don't start with a GPS. We actually start with a SWOT analysis. How many have heard of a SWOT analysis? I see one hand. Okay. So I'm sorry, I can't see your face, so I won't be able to call you out. So a SWOT analysis is basically a grid, right? So I would say the top left, you would say strengths. The top right will be your weaknesses. The bottom left would be opportunities. The bottom right for you would be threats. So we always start with that. So we look at our business. Okay, what do we do really, really well? What did we crush this year? And we listed it. Made us feel really good. And then we look at what are our weaknesses. Okay, what did we not do so well? Where are areas of strength or areas of opportunity to get stronger or maybe pivot? Opportunities. Some people say, well, are opportunities the same as weaknesses? Not so much. So opportunities could be like, okay, this, oh, my hand is raised. I use my hands a lot. So how do I lower my hand? Anyway, lower hand. Okay, there. So your opportunities could be, you know what? This agent was dominant in this market or this neighborhood, and he or she is now retiring now. Maybe there's an opportunity for us to step in. So look for those opportunities. And then you look at threats. So threats could be internal. Threats could be external. So internal threats could be maybe somebody on the team is not in culture. It's threatening the culture of your team. Maybe it's external, such as the interest rates, such as the job market, such as people moving out of the area. Our clients are moving away. So those are the threats. So once we have, having a SWOT analysis is like holding a mirror to yourselves, right? And it's a wonderful exercise to do. We not only do in our business, I do it personally, our children do it. They take care of it. So from the SWOT analysis, we circle our strengths. What are the 3 things that we do really, really, really well? And then for next year, as part of our GPS, we'll double down on it, right? We'll double down. And the next few things, maybe there are 2 more things that we want to improve upon and actually do better. We might have a GPS around that. Then the areas of weakness. Well, we came up with a list of 7 that we just couldn't perform. So what I would advise, and Jay Papasan taught me this, is like, put it on a parking lot, just write it all down on a list and only pull out the ones that you think that if you were to address it today could change your business tomorrow. So if you're looking at your weaknesses, for example, I'm not great with follow-up. Follow-up is the gold, right? So what is your plan in place to improve that process so that your follow-up will improve, right? Choose one or two things that you're going to do in your weakness bucket that if you were to execute today or come up with a plan today, and it could be completed by end of the month or next month, that it could change your business entirely. Then I would do it with the opportunities, and I would do it with the threats as well. So we'll take it in small chunks. We don't have to address everything. So the question is, what can I address today that could change my business tomorrow? So once we selected and circle those, that became our GPS. It became very, very clear. So to get to your destination, you have to know where you are first, right? So the SWOT analysis will show you where you are now and where you need to go. Now, executing with persistence while protecting your mindset, that's really self-mastery. I know all of you have heard about 6 personal perspectives. I know Michelle teaches on mastery and mindset. Sometimes derailment happens, right? Like my DO embezzling from me. And because of that, I was able to hire my current DOO, who is a complete rock star. So what's happening to you may feel like it's the worst thing to ever happen to you. But sometimes the worst thing is the best thing. So when things happen and you're about to freak out, you can think, maybe this is the best thing. What can I do about it? So there are many times my brain tries to self-sabotage, it's not because my brain hates me, because it's your brain is conditioned to protect you, right? It's how we were wired from millions of years ago, is to say, we want to survive. This is uncomfortable. This feels like it's really dangerous. Maybe you shouldn't do this. So oftentimes we talk ourselves out of the uncomfortable. So we really have to think, is this really scary? Or is it just uncomfortable for me? And if I break through the uncomfortable, it could be something spectacular. So you have to measure. Then for what we do is we kind of flip the script, and I'll share this with you. When something goes sideways, we could sit and wallow and point fingers at each other. What we do is we go, you know what? Plot twist. It's a plot twist. All right, now what? So it is your attitude that's going to determine how you're going to break through the uncertainty and the difficult times. Now, how do you adapt in this market? From what I believe is that the market is what you make it. How you see it is your choice. Your attitude is your choice. You're the only person responsible for your attitude and how you perceive the world. For us, it's normal. It's an opportunity. For the market, we think it's normal. It's a market of opportunity. It's a market of opportunity for our buyers. It's a market of opportunity for investors. And it is an opportunity for us as a team, because it's an opportunity for us to outshine the people or the agents who may not want to put in the work right now, who may not want to pick up the phone right now and counsel their clients through this time, who may not want to send an email to say, how are you doing? Let's go grab a coffee. So the things turn out best for the people who make the best out of the way things turn out. John Wooden said that. Things turn out best for the people who make the best out of the way things turn out. That's a powerful statement. I wanted to share that with you today. So how do you become confident in this market? How do you become that economist of choice Gary keeps talking about? You have to know what's happening in your market, not what the news is telling you, not what Keep It Current Matters is telling you. You have to do the work and know your market. Be the economist choice. Be the thought leader of choice. You can send recipe cards, which are great, or you can send data for what your clients need to know now in order for them to make the best decision for their real estate investments. Talk about things other agents are not talking about. You will sound different. And how will you know what to say? Connect with your clients. Ask them, what's keeping you up at night? What are some things I can answer for you that could solve some of your problems? You know, the real estate market in the Bay Area it's looking a little different than it was a few years ago. Are there any other properties, either in this country or internationally, you're thinking about, or you would like to sell? Start asking those questions. I bet you the majority of agents are not asking that. So when you're looking at your SWOT, talking about doubling down what works. So in this past few years, we've been so busy. Like, who's been really, really busy? These, like, from 2020 to 2022, who was like really busy, right? And we're like, wow, this is amazing. But we were doing 75% servicing. We were servicing 75% of our time, we were servicing. And 25% of our time, we're probably intentional in lead generation and connecting with clients because we're so busy servicing. We're now in a market where you have to flip it. You have to spend 75% of your time intentional in building relationships, and then 25% servicing, if that's your market. So you can figure out the percentages in your own business, but we have to be skilled. We now have to be consultants, because if you take the brake, pedal your foot off put off the gas. If you take your foot off the gas pedal, the people who are intentional and dripping on your database, because I guarantee you, you're not the only agent who's contacting them. The other people who are going to get the business. So what are you doing with your database, right? So more and more people will not be raising their hands wanting to buy or sell. So go where your ideal clients are, right? So think about where your ideal client, the profile of our ideal clients, and think about where they are. Right now, in this market, in the market of the moment, people are staying. There's like, I got a 3% interest rate. I'm not going to move. Where am I going to go? Or somebody says, you know what, 7%, I don't know. I don't know if I can afford the Bay Area anymore. So what do we need to do? We need to look for the nows, right? And I know you've heard this before, and I just want to reiterate it. It is the 60s, the people who need to make a transition now. Death, divorce, diapers, disasters, dividends, deployment. Death, mom and dad, grandma passed away. So how do you get in front of them? What are your relationships with estate attorneys like, right? What are your relationships with fiduciaries like? Divorce, it happens. They don't wait until the economy changes to have a divorce, right? So
Yeah.
who in your world, maybe some do, I don't know, who in your world has a client, a book of business that would deal with divorce? Who can you serve, right? So we don't want to be ambulance chasers. They're getting divorced. Let's go get them. That's 3 pieces of business. That's fantastic. But do you really want to serve them in this time of great distress? Diapers, the family's growing. They're busting out of the seams. They need more space. Disasters, right? It's unfortunate in Maui, we're getting a lot of calls from people from Maui wanting to come to California. They just need a place to stay. We're not focused on selling them anything. We just want to wrap our arms around them and help them and protect them.
Right.
So disasters, dividends meaning maybe they had a cash infusion in their stocks. Maybe they had an inheritance. Deployment, not just means military, but maybe they have a job transfer. What are your relationships like with relocation specialists? Right. So if you're looking at the map in command where all the referrals are going in and out, if there is a ton of referrals coming from Nashville to you, actually it's going the other way, but just say Nashville is coming to you. Who are the top agents you can contact in Nashville to talk about your area and why your area is so wonderful, so that you can be the referral partner of choice? So look for the now business. Gary said this last month to us. He said the difference between successful people and average people is this. Successful people wake up and they ask, what is the business I need to do today to make the money I need to make? What am I doing today to generate revenue? What are my activities today on my calendar that is revenue generating? The average person wakes up. What do I feel like doing? Well, you know what? I really don't feel like doing this today. I'll do it later. So that's the difference. In Gary's perspective, of a successful person versus an average person. So if you wait to put in the work, the others putting the work now, touching your database will be the ones to get ahead, and you may not have the opportunity to catch them. So what's the advice for up and coming agents, aside from attending all of the amazing Keller Williams training that your leaders have put together with you, and Mega Camp, Mega Agent Camp, and Family Reunion? Number one, know who you are, know who you're not. Be who you are, not what you think others think you should be. It's so often that we see, oh my gosh, this person's on TikTok and she's doing this, or that person's on social media and he's talking about this, and I want to be that. Be you. Take the best of everybody and be you, because if you're not you, it will shine through. If you are you, it will shine through even brighter. Be mindful for who you follow. You'll notice that in the past, so a few years ago, Gary said this, well, everybody on stage, we need to inspect their P&L. We need to know that they have a healthy P&L before we put them on stage. Because what we're finding that people had huge followings, they're on stage, and maybe their P&L didn't reflect their success, right? So be mindful of who you follow. Be very selective on who you surround yourself with and who you let into your mind, right? Your mind, your heart, these are sacred spaces. Be mindful of who you let in and who you listen to. Hold your money accountable, right? Know your P&L. Who has a P&L in their business? Awesome. If you don't have one yet, or you don't know what it is, check with your leadership. Talk to the people around you who have it. Ask your bookkeeper. Ask your accountant. How do I start it? This is your profit and your loss. You could be out there going, oh my gosh, I just had the best year of my life. And then I made X amount of money. And at the end of the year, you're like, where did it all go? So look at your P&L. Gary visits his money every single day. He has time blocked in his calendar to go over all of his portfolios, his money, every single day. And when you are following real estate superstars, kind of guess what their P&L looks like. Focus on your 20%. Time is our currency. So choose not to spend time, choose to invest your time. Does your calendar match your goals? If your calendar is full of, I need to get the marketing photos ready, I need to prepare the paperwork for this, but your goal is here. Is your activity matching your goal? Right? So I would challenge you to look at your calendar to see if your calendar matches your goals. Find your strength zone and live there. So for me, picking up the phone or speaking in front of you is difficult. The phone feels heavy sometimes, but you know what? My strength zone is one-on-one. So when Michelle sat next to me, I was so delighted that I got to spend 3 hours with her. She did let me nap for about 20 minutes.
I tried.
You did. You were so good. So find your strength zone. I know I'm great at one-on-ones. I know that if a referral comes in, I have a meeting with them, I have a very high conversion rate. If I'm on the phone, probably not so great. I'll work on it. I need to constantly build my skills, but I know where my strength zone is in. Be fearless in your pursuit. Be fearless. Fearlessness is the ability to pursue opportunities without being held back by the fear of failure, rejection, or uncertainty. Right? Be fearless. And what I heard was the happiest people don't have the best of everything. They make the best of everything.
Heard that this morning. Yes. Great. Yeah.
Yep.
I love that.
So that was John Maxwell today.
Yes, it was.
And he had said that to us a few months ago, and I actually have it just framed here.
Love it.
And lastly, I'll leave you with this. Who was at Family Reunion in February, Ryan Holiday was on stage at CEO Summit, and he said something, I mean, everything he said was fantastic, but so he said something that really just put a spear in my heart. He said, procrastination is arrogance. You assume there's a tomorrow. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. Don't have regrets, not just in your business, but also your personal lives. So today we talked about business. But what I want to share with you is don't ignore your personal life and the relationships that you need to pay attention to. I had a heart attack in my early 40s and I'm here. I'm very blessed to be. That could have gone the other way. I was involved in a lightning strike on my plane going to Southern California. Rarely rains or storms like that in Southern California. It was the most horrific metal sound you could ever hear. It was so loud that it kept ringing in my ears. The plane dropped. So metal hit, plane drops, the flight attendants scurry to their jump seats. And I'm looking around, everybody is silent, everybody is stunned. And at that time we were having difficulty with North Korea. I thought North Korea, like they went crazy and shot a missile and hit us. But that moment, I didn't think, what was the last appointment? Oh no, I'm not going to be able to make that listing appointment. What I thought at that time was, am I square with everybody? Does everybody that I care about know how much I care about them? And am I investing my time in this relationship? So when I was on a call with Gary a few weeks ago, he was consulting, helping me with my business. And I asked him, Gary, you've got, you saw him on stage at Mega Agent Camp. He's got $1 billion of lawsuits. He's got several companies to run. He's leading us to charge to the storm and be the storm. I said, how do you do it? How do you be so positive and stay who you are? And he said, Caroline, I have my non-negotiables. Do you know yours? And I thought about a minute. I said, well, I think I do. He goes, you don't know yours. And I felt really, really small. So I said, what are yours, Gary? Question with a question. And he said, it's my wife, the love of my life, Mary. It's my son, my grandchildren and the relationship with them. It is my spirituality, my relationship with God, and it's my health. He goes, that's it. If anything I'm doing today affects any of those, I stop doing it, or I assign it to somebody else. So that's another reason, that's another perspective of being clear with your why and what you will accept into your life, what you're willing to do, and also what you're not willing to do. So I think my time is almost up, and I just wanted to share that with you. I wrote this all out last night. So I hope it was helpful for you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much, Carolyn. That was awesome. So,
You're welcome.
Michelle had to step out, so I'll stick with. So, thank you. Was that awesome? I took like
great.
5 pages of notes. I think. Oh, awesome. So, once again, Carolyn is a resource. She is part of our luxury market, and I know there's a lot of luxury out here. So you just need to qualify by getting a few transactions on the luxury side or picking up a luxury listing, and we can help you with that as well. So, but thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us, and we really appreciate it. Everyone have a great day. Go sell some homes, and we have some food outside for you for our sponsors. So thank you so much.
Bye, everyone. We'll win.
Everyone online.